Hello world, and I am What If Studier, and today we are doing What If Deku was the Reincarnation of the Strongest Hero, Part 5. Sorry I've been on a 1-week hiatus, but now we are back with a whole slew of things. I have been obsessing about this for the last 10 days, and I assure you, a nice and smooth ride. So let's begin. Deku, waking up from the, luxurious bed of midnight. As she lets go of his arm in a slight manner, however, she returns back to her self with her arms, in a sort of way that reflects off of her eyes glistening in the sun, in the morning dew and sunlight. He is now just struck with the fact that he now can fathom her beauty. Before it was something to attain, now it is something that he can control, something that he can fathom now that he has her. She is his. Something that he can now understand and see the beauty of the person underneath the ego. And he quite likes the view from there. He hums to himself as he walks out to the window until, as he puts his hand on the window, he sees the markings that stretch all the way down from his right arm. Those burn marks, they seem to have edged into his skin. I can't believe she was able to, fix all of that. She really was quite the nurse. As he turns around, he sees the massive hallway and one single place to, get a new set of clothes. What are those called? Closets. Right. I haven't seen a closet in almost 10 days. Sorry. He walks into the closet as it seems almost endless. With mirrors at the end of the hallways, you can never tell where it ends and where it begins. He almost gets lost for about 5 minutes until he just activates his quirk, shooting down the hallway as fast as he can. Gaining speed as he does, he finally finds the end as he almost smacks into the mirror. Instead, he smacks into a set of clothes at the end of the hallway. One that wasn't meant for anybody to find. But maybe for him. It was a set of clothes for firefighters. A pair of jeans that were ripped and also a jacket that was also ripped. A hole in the center. And a gas mask made for firefighters. It seems almost the leather that was used to make it. The jeans were also made out of the same leather that were resistant to lightning and fire. This could be very useful. As he puts that on and subtly makes his way outside, he hears her get up as he makes his way down the stairwell out to the courtyard, as then the butler is out there waiting for him. Before the butler could say anything, he hushes the butler, saying, "Where's the direction of Mount Helena?" As he's like, "Sir, you couldn't mean the actual Mount Helena. That place is clouded by demons, all sorts of things that are quirked beings. That place is cursed." He's like, "That's why I want to go there." He's haunted by the memory of being defeated by All Might. He doesn't blame it on other things than himself. He will never blame others. However, he will have to learn that in these subtle few episodes. He blames himself for being not powerful enough, not seeing it. He must attain more power. He must get enough power to defeat All for One, or else they're all doomed. However, he must take a stop on the way, maybe. He leaves midnight in her bed as he says to himself, she's forcing this a little bit too much, at least. That'll give me a reason to leave for at least a little while. Why is she so forceful with this? I guess she just doesn't want to let me go, or else she's afraid I'll just be gone, like her husband. As he makes his as he jumps into the clouds like a lightning bolt and then arcs down with one swift jump. He lands right in front of the gym that he had ordered all of the heroes to start training at. The exact one that he had trained Bakugo for all those years. All those years. I mean, like 2 years maybe. It wasn't that long. But his hellish training that he put Bakugo through was all in here. Jiro too, his training partner. As he finds 3 heroes right outside the door slacking off and not doing their normal exercises, he has his hand sort of come up and turn to lightning as he says, "What are you doing slacking off?" As they say, "What, are you trying to start a fight?" As one of them gets up and then bends down with a clear stone edge quirk, which his arm just turns to stone. He's like, "What are you gonna do about it then?" As he puts his hand on Deku's shoulder. His hand phases through Deku's shoulder as Deku just barely even flicks him off to the side, and the hero goes flying. The rest of them are like, "What the fuck?" He's like, "If you really want to fight me, well, why don't we make a game out of this?" As basically he starts a whole tournament around fighting him to see which hero will win. Whoever wins basically gets a large sum of money and doesn't have to train. If they all bet on the right guy, then everybody doesn't have to do the training anymore. And this gets everybody hyped. Everybody's running in, and then it's just an all-out free-for-all just against him. And then he's just blasting each one away, zooming across, and then kicking another guy out of the ring. He's doing it lightly enough that he can get them off, but he can't do this forever. And finally, once he runs out of most of his energy from having to run around, he starts to realize how truly weak he is. Only 100 of the heroes actually showed up to the place. He swears about 120 were supposed to come for their morning exercises. At least that's what he ordered. Bunch of bums. I'll be sure that they all come here. As then he gets back up, and then Endeavor enters into the ring. As he's like, "Oh shit, I've used almost all of my energy." Oh fuck. As then Endeavor's like, well, time for a brutal beatdown, I guess. You know how Endeavor does. Yeah. Endeavor immediately, he doesn't take the precedence. He always allows Deku to take the first shot, and that always makes Deku kind of mad, because he's more of a counterattack. He loves to immediately dash in right after an attack. Endeavor does the same exact thing. However, he lets an attack go, right? One attack towards him means one fireball to the face to the enemy. Something that Endeavor has learned well fighting against Deku. And this fight is brutal. It destroys the arena. The tally charts on the side count almost 9-1 against Deku, because they can tell they're all heroes. Of course, they know when Deku is that powerful Deku is basically. But Endeavor is still the second top hero. How could they doubt him? Endeavor is close to beating him by scorching the ground, not stopping Deku from being able to run on the ground. However, Deku starts to run so fast that he runs on the ceiling. Deku jumps off of the ceiling, arcing down a kick to the shoulder of Endeavor, which unhinges Endeavor's shoulder. Endeavor sparks fire along his whole entire body. However, Deku expected this because of their recent fights. He uses this to his advantage and kicks over Endeavor onto the ring side, which sparks the whole entire arena on fire. They have, ice quirk people there, so of course they got it under control. But it's an epic battle scene, because this turns into an whole entire war of fireball against lightning. However, Deku loses. In the end, a gigantic fireball hit to the ground, explodes and catches Deku on his left side, sort of giving him some degree of burns. However, Deku goes off to the side and taps out, and they're like, and Endeavor was coming down with a gigantic, Hulk smash of a fire, elbow, And Endeavor's like, huh, well, that was quite a good fight. He's like, you mind rehinging your shoulder there? Tough guy. And Endeavor's like, shit, he saw that? Then like arcs back his shoulder and he's like, anyways, good fight. He's like, yeah, you too, tough guy. As, they're like, yeah, we don't have to do anything. And he's like, no. It wasn't 10-0. They're like, wait, what? What do you mean? I said that nobody has to train if it's 10-0. Since it wasn't 10-0, well, everybody still has to train except Endeavor here. Are you fucking kidding me? It's that everybody's like in outrage. He's like, I know, you hate me. Endeavor's like, I'm actually quite excited for the changes around here. I always thought that these losers wouldn't stop getting off of their asses and doing nothing. It's nice seeing some change. Thank you. That's the only time I'll say it. That's some change. Shut up and take the compliment. I will. Calm down, bud. As then, Deku shortly makes his way out, as Endeavor asks, where are you off to now, Pipsqueak? Don't call me Pipsqueak, but I am off to Mount Helena. Don't chase after me. Helena, are you serious? As then Deku dashes into the clouds using his lightning, conjuring himself into the clouds. He jumps up, arcing across the interstate as he looks across multiple lands, looking through and trying to find Mount Helena. And finally, he spots it, a gigantic spire that shoots up into the sky. This mountain is clearly the one that he's looking for. A cursed mountain where quirked animals roam. It's life or death every single day there, and there are people that live off of the mountain through trading routes. He actually stops by from the town that's nearby, asking in the tavern about, any people that need any jobs happening in there, so he can make an extra buck while he's there. Actually, he has some construction going down in UA that he had demanded in his contract. He had demanded a lot of things that, they didn't look through. And it was actually a spire of the school named after him. He was going to build it himself, however, he doesn't have the time right now. Right now, it's continuously going to be built and going to house all of the books of a long time ago. Like it's just going to be a gigantic housing of library books. But he has to, get some money for it first. So he goes throughout all the populace, asking around what exactly jobs need to be done. And one of the tavern owners actually comes up to him saying that his son is lost on the in there. Like his son has been lost for multiple weeks, and he really needs to be found. He's like, well, how much will you be paying me? He's like, I can cook. He's like, that's good enough. And then off to the mountain. As he goes into the mountain, there's thousands and thousands of beings, gigantic bears, even small serpents that are mega-sized like dragons. But the biggest threat are the world serpents, the gigantic things that jump out of the ground. Basically, earthworms on crack. They swallow up whole plots of land sometimes. Bandits came after that man that he was chasing after, eliminating each one singularly. Of course he doesn't kill them. He's still humane. However, chasing down each one, using the lightning fist, he's able to knock out anybody in just a single punch that they can't even see. However, chasing after the bandits is the hardest part because they were using the humans that they were tying up as human, target practice for their guns and other stuff. However, once they hear the rustling in the forest, they aim the shot at him. As then they shoot, and then Deku just grabs the bullet out of the air and twists it back, as then it fires right back at the guy and misses. And he's like, what the fuck? And then another guy comes at him with a machete, which just breaks on contact as he uses lightning to phase right through it. He doesn't break on contact. I'm sorry. He phases straight through it using lightning, arcing it through his body, and it just goes straight through him. He just picks up the guy's face and then smashes him down into the ground. He looks back up to the other guy that had shot the bullets at him, and then he shoots 3 different bullets at him. Again, phasing right through him. This is actually a form of lightning control, that he's forcing his body to be pure lightning. A very hard thing to do, how he has to be very concentrated. At this point, he has to fuse both of his consciousnesses, both Deku and Alawa working together, which is much harder than you think. Deku has to be controlling his body by taking it out of the present, and also Alawa having to contain his body, the arcing of lightning in his body. If he wants to, he can become pure lightning, which is even harder. However, does not need that much control, just power. So, by this time, Deku basically just walks up to the guy and bends the gun backwards with just sheer strength, and then kicks the guy in the stomach, and then looks over to the guy that's tied up to the tree as he's begging for his life. He cuts down the guy with just his fist and then asks if he's the son of the tavern owner. He says, yes. Wait, which one? He's like, I don't know, I didn't ask for a name. He's like, whatever, my father's a tavern owner, yeah. He's like, okay, cool. How are you going to pay me? I don't have any money. Huh. Good luck surviving in the wilderness. He's like, no, I can pay you in information. What information could that possibly be? There's interesting things going on this mountain. I think I would find them by this point, kid. I've been here for almost a week. Training. How do you think I was able to turn my whole body into lightning? He's been basically training here. He says, no. Someone had killed a bear on this place, and it had dropped a magical item, a book of the past. It is said that it told him about events that had happened long ago. Is that worth it? He's like, my God. That crockety old dark mage. God damn it. He's such an idiot. Why would he? He really made things contain those devils of objects? I guess it is ingenious, but it's also goddamn annoying. What if I didn't have this guy tell me? What then? I guess he knew I would come to this mountaintop. Excuse me, what are you talking about? Oh yeah, that's right. Hold my hand. What? Just hold my hand, dude. He's like, okay. As he puts his hand on Deku, then Deku just immediately zaps them towards the tavern. The guy goes into the tavern and is like, thank you. And then the tavern owner's all crying and stuff, and he's like, thank you. He's like, yeah, whatever. What about that infinite cooking supply? He's like, oh yes. And he basically makes him all this food that he can take onto the mountain with him. However, he can't zap himself onto the mountain with all the food. I think that's actually all the time I have right now. Alright, I think I'll be seeing you guys sometime, somewhere. Goodbye.